Nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday.
Shweg, I'm gonna beat you. Like, don't. This will be the end of our
Tell me
friendship.
that song isn't stuck in your head too, bro.
No, bro. For me, it's mask off right now. Percocet. Molly Percocet.
Some
Oh,
eighth grade song you're singing, and then you're shitting on me for singing Jet 2 Holiday.
chase a chick. Never chase a bitch.
Shut the fuck up. Nah, that's funny as hell.
I'm obsessed with it right now. It's too
Why?
funny.
Where did you
And I
hear it
sing
that it
it.
suddenly stuck in your head?
No, like I play all my music, like all
Oh
my
yeah,
liked
shuffle.
songs just on shuffle, right? So
Right.
like randomly it came on in the car the other day and I played it like four times on loop. Chase a chick. Like I am like I embodied future in that
Mask
moment.
off. Fucking mask off. Yeah, he's another artist I really want to see, bro.
Same. Oh wait, I've seen Future, but I saw Future and Metro together,
Oh my god,
but it was
that's
so
what.
bad, bro.
Oh my god. Huh?
It was so bad. First of all, like some random fight broke out on stage. They only performed for like 45 minutes, and this was like right after they released their last album
Oh my
together.
god, stop.
They were acting like they were performing for their parents at a pajama party, bro. I'm like, why are you here lip syncing? This is your song. No, you wrote it. I hate it when artists do that,
Yeah,
bro.
same. I
And
hate it
it's
when
like,
they lip sync. It's the
and it's
worst.
like they want, and you know what was worse? Fine, you came here, you lip synced your own song that you wrote. Fine, okay. You know what was really sad? They just turned all the lights on at Lola, like, and they just left.
Oh.
Like, we were like, wait 1 second. Like, this is why we paid $150. You're crazy.
You know, my brother was saying he saw Metro when he was in Dubai, like when Metro came to Dubai too, and even he didn't like Metro.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
mean,
concert was mid. So I think he went for Rema and Metro that same year, and he was like, Rema was
ooh,
so much better.
Rema is such a good performer. Yeah, it's just sad. Like, these guys have
But
bangers.
I know this episode isn't about concerts, right? But since we're talking about concerts, I have to get into the story, yeah? Hilarious. So basically, I went for Hanuman Kind last month or something. So basically, what happened was small venue, right? And like very personal concert. And I loved it even more so because he's Malayali. There's a lot of Malayalis around me. Like everybody's Indian. Like I was so excited. Yeah. We get to the venue and I'm front of the stage. Okay. Like if the stage is here, I'm in the first row of like people. And he is a, first of all, what an amazing performer. Yeah. But the fact that I was so close, like his sweat was dripping onto me. Like that's how
Yeah.
close he was. I could have touched him. Like I could have literally like, yeah, anything. I could have violated him if I wanted to. Yeah,
Yeah, legit. I was like, why didn't you lick him, bro? He was right there.
I could have, but I have to show some self-respect and also respect for him. So I did not indulge
Sure.
in such activities. Bro, there were
Sure.
some babes like stood behind me, and every time he would come to my side of the stage, those girls would start screaming, "I want to fuck you, fuck me." Can you not? This is like I'm cringing. Please stop it.
Oh, that's so funny.
So anyway, getting to the actual story, right? And there was this videographer who was like recording the whole concert and stuff. And every time he would come towards my side of the stage or like he's just recording the crowd, I was there in the front shaking my ass, yeah. And at the end of the concert, after everything got over, Hanuman Kind came out like backstage to like meet and greet everyone kind of thing. But it was
Right.
crazy because when everyone realized he's come out, everyone ran to him and just started like
Violating him.
violating him, bro. People were jumping him. Like he
People
you
are
could
crazy.
people were crazy. You could visibly see he was stressed. So I felt bad. I was like, listen, I don't want to go and overwhelm him even more and ask for a picture when everybody's doing that. Let me genuinely go pay him a compliment because I love the performance. I don't know why I was trying to be some cool bitch. I should have just quietly asked for one photo and dipped, yeah. I've gone to him and I'm like, bro, you're such a great performer. Crazy breathwork.
Who do you think you are? It's like he was performing at The Voice or like Indian Idol or something, and you're like, wait, let me
Bro.
tell you.
Oh my god. The thing is, in that moment, I didn't even clock it. Okay. So there are like couple of parts to the story. So right next to this whole crowd was his videographer guy. And I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, do you like shoot for Hanuman Kind like full time, or are you just doing the event in Frankfurt and stuff?" So he's like, "No, no, no, I'm his videographer. Like, I travel with him." And I was like, "Bro, that's so cool." And then I just like smiled at him, yeah. And then I was like, "Can you book me in the video when the final video's out?" And then he just laughs and he was like, "I got you, I got you." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so happy." And I was full excitement. The next day, they posted a Instagram like slide of the Frankfurt show. And it was all of the like pictures they took at the concert. Like they at the end of the concert, they'd like taken a picture of him like standing in front of the crowd and stuff, right? Bro, I look at the slide post. The first person that got cropped out, me.
Who would have guessed?
The
Who would have
way
thunk?
I got damaged, bro. I was so sad, yeah. And the worst thing, I actually went on there and I commented, like I tagged the videographer's like IG handle and I was like, "You cropped me out, bro." With like a crying emoji, yeah. And my friends who were there at the concert with me and who knew this crazy breathwork story, bro, they went on my comment and replied going like crazy breathwork. The violation. Uncalled for. But then yeah,
Too funny, bro.
it's probably one of those comments that he's gonna go back home, tell his friends, like, some stupid bitch came up to me and said this. And I swear I meant it in the most like nicest intention. I genuinely didn't
I
want to jump him.
know.
Pavam, bro. I got damaged on the
That's
way.
why I feel like it's fine, bro. Your intention was good, but you're so embarrassing. Like, can't take you anywhere.
Oh my days. What a dumbass for
Oh,
real. But yeah, it is what it is. We move.
too funny.
I hope he'll remember it in a positive way. So, shall we actually
Yeah,
start our
let's start.
episode?
This is going to be the longest intro ever.
Anywho, so hi guys, welcome to Did I Ask for This podcast? And what's up, bitches? We missed you all. Uh,
Yeah, it's been good, bro. Podcast going well. We're like having more and more fun as we do it.
Facts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's called Did I Ask?
Oh yeah, correct. At this point, I've even forgotten that you have to correct me. But
Oh, we
Sans,
need
tell us
to.
what is our big question for today?
So, this week's big question
Drum
is
roll.
how superstitious are you?
Ooh. Dun dun dun.
You know, especially both of us being Desi, we all be knowing how superstitious our culture is. And it's great, honestly. It's what keeps it fun.
Yo.
While I was doing research for this year, I was just looking at like Indian superstitions specifically. And some guy in the comments was just like on Reddit was like, so white people just don't have bad luck, huh? Like they just never get cursed. It's just us. It's just us. We get racism also, we get superstition also. I'm like, oh shit.
This is why we need superstition because we're being raced against.
Raced against. My lord.
But yeah, so we need some sort of belief to keep us pushing.
Real, real. Do you want to ask the first question?
Sure. Let's just start with the banger, yeah? Are you
Yeah.
superstitious, bro?
I think I'm like not like superstitious, more like
Justitious.
little stitious.
Okay.
Like I definitely believe in first of all, I'm one of those hippie dippy like the energy and the universe and like I'm very much that bitch, okay?
Okay.
Um but I definitely in terms of superstition, I believe in like karma, I believe in nazar,
Hmm.
um all the baseline superstitions, you know, but I
Yes,
don't believe in
baseline
like
Indian.
yeah, pretty much. I'll like do touch wood.
Facts, bro. I'm hard big on that.
Yeah, so stuff like that. What about you?
Same. I'm just regular stitious.
Mm.
I also believe in all the baseline Indian stitions. I really like the 1111 one. I always make a wish when I see 1111. Yeah, just the basics pretty much.
Same. I don't know if I even believe in 1111, but I'm like, if it's real, am I just gonna waste this wishing time?
Pretty much.
Like, no harm, no foul, just wish. It's
Correct,
okay.
correct.
I don't believe in astrology, to be honest,
Okay.
like at all. Like the rising, setting, moon, sun, star, whatnot. Can't. Like, it's too complicated. And like, yeah, I think like the horoscopes have ruined astrology for me.
Honestly, I do read what my horoscope says every now and then. Like I remember when I
Okay.
was in like high school and shit, I would, those tests where you're like, oh, what kind of horoscope is like your potential lover? All those kind of like quizzes and shit I would do just because why not? For the vibes. But this Indian astrology shit, I was heavily not a believer until recently. Whenever my parents have gone to these astrologers, a lot of times it's just because they're like, when is this bitch getting married? The last three readings they had, all three different astrologers said that I'd get married at the age of 29. And apparently, like the auspicious time or whatever for me to get married has already started. So my mom is like, okay, there has to be some truth to this. Why are three different astrologers who, like, none of them know you, none of them know us, why would they all three say the same thing? And I'm like, can you not do me like this? Like, I'm not ready to hear this shit. Like, leave me alone. So stuff like this has
Mm.
been low-key starting to spook me out of late.
So I hope you guys heard that correctly. She's in her very auspicious marriage time. So please send the rishtas now. 29 is where it's at. You have two
Listen,
years.
you have 2 more years.
Get it
Okay, get your
started.
shit together, man.
So she's very ripe for the picking, is what we're
This
hearing.
is the kind of shit you say, and then we get hate comments only on me. All the uncles will start commenting, "You're so ugly. What snack?" Mark my shit.
Too funny, bro. No, people are too mean, bro. Like I
Pretty
agree.
funny, bro.
I just remembered this one story. Like when I was in India, okay, there was this one like Sanskrit teacher who randomly came to our class to like sub a class one day, and he was like, "I don't feel like teaching you guys. Let's just fuck around."
Mm.
And he just randomly starts calling, like he was like, does anyone want to stand up? I'll show you guys something that I'm very like good at. And one of my family friends who was also in that class, he stood up, and this teacher just starts telling him about his life. Not only that, he starts telling him what his house looks like, to the point where he's like, there's a stained glass window in this room,
Yeah.
like this is how the bedrooms are laid out. And I've been to his house because he's my family friend, so I was like, what the fuck, like that's too so I feel like I definitely believe in like black magic and people just having powers and like these skills that I just may not understand and may
Correct,
not be scientifically proven, because
correct.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Like, to be fair, this teacher also was very random in the sense, I remember at the end of the class, he was like, for anyone who has glasses, if you want to reverse your vision, again, not tried and tested, so maybe he's right, you have to put like one tomato on your head for like 3 days or something.
I think he was just taking the piss, bro. He just
I
wanted to
don't
fuck
know, bro.
around with kids. He's probably been to that kid's house.
Bro, nah,
Parent
that
teacher
I'm
meeting in person.
nah, I'm telling you, there was just no way. Like he also told him so much about his life. Like I could verify each and
Right,
everything
right,
he
right.
said. So unless he's like some kind of ninja, I don't
Yeah.
know.
But
Like,
I've heard stories like, I mean, even my parents have told me like they when they were like renovating their house or something, they went again, same shit, Jadagam things for like
mhm.
checking like if it's like whatever, how should they redo the house and stuff like this, right? And same story, the astrologer told my parents like, oh, I noticed that there's this broken window on this side of your house and facing this kitchen, and that's actually bad luck. So you need to get that fixed as soon as possible. And he just
Yeah.
like randomly made guesses of like, not guesses, well, I guess readings of like stuff in the house that he could not have known. And my parents were again spooked the fuck out, like, how the fuck did he know that? Um,
Yeah, it's really weird, bro. So even my like, I mean, I always called it like a kundli, but I guess it's the same as the Jatakam, which is like basically the book they write. So the guy who wrote the book for me, he also died shortly after, but he was like very well known for like being very, very accurate.
Right.
Yeah, and there are not a lot of people who do this that well anymore. It's kind of like a dying
Yeah, right, right.
art a little bit. So I really want to believe everything he wrote because it's damn good, okay? Um, yeah, like it's all in Kannada. So my mom was reading it out to me, and the number of times the sentence or like the phrase "Tumba Shrimatike" was mentioned, which means mad wealthy, bro. I'm like, say less. I want to believe it. Like, fuck yeah.
I was actually coming to this as one point of superstitions and astrology and all of these kind of things in general. I feel like people tend to believe it when it works in their favor. Or at least that's how I am.
Mhm.
I am very like picky about what I like to believe, and the ones that I like to believe are always the things that work well in my favor. Like, okay, if it says I'm going to be wealthy, 100% that's correct. But if it says I'm going to fall sick tomorrow, that's not correct.
Right, 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 right,
Let
right.
me.
I mean, that's just human nature, but yeah, I see what you mean. I have another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Kundli, yeah. Do you know what like being Manglik and stuff
Yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I recently discovered this one thing. There's like degrees of being Manglik and stuff. So there's this movie that just came out. It's called Aap Jaise Koi, something like that.
yeah. Okay.
And in that, this dude is like hella cursed. Okay, I don't know if he's like manglik or whatnot, but basically this is like a common practice in India where they say that your first marriage is definitely not going to work out. So what they do in that case is they marry you off to a plant
Exactly. They
as your
marry you off
first
to a
wedding.
tree. Exactly.
And so he's literally holding like this cute little house plant and going around the fire. And I was so confused. I was like, what's happening?
You know, this is a remake of a Malayalam movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no way.
exactly, there's some rules to it. And that also, it's a specific type of tree. If I am remembering correctly, I think in Kerala, it's like a banana tree. I mean, makes sense.
Very fitting.
Exactly, very fitting. You have
What
to
the fuck?
wait.
How do you marry someone off to a banana tree, bro? That shit's big. How
No,
are you
it's when
walking
the
around the
tree is not fully grown yet, I think. I don't know.
Oh, it's like a banana plant.
Plant, I guess. IDK, bro. Honestly, I don't know. I'm the wrong person to be saying these things. One of my friends
Okay.
here, she was telling me that her and her family are big, big, big believers in Kundli, okay? And
Okay.
she has a boyfriend. They wanted to get married, so they basically introduced each other's families and stuff like this. Everyone's getting along. So they're like, okay, let's check Kundli. And the like reading said that if these two get married, it's going to be bad luck for the parents of the bride.
Whoa.
And then the girl's parents are like, hell nah, you're not going ahead with this marriage. You think you're gonna curse us and get married? Fuck no.
Oh
And
shit.
now the girl is like, fuck now, what do I do? Because I want to marry this guy. I can't see myself with anybody else. Like, what if something actually does happen?
No, but I have such a simple solution for this.
Pay the guy. Slide one 10 lakhs. Okay, maybe not 10 lakhs, but 150K under the table to that astrologer. Suddenly, all the problems are
He'll say
resolved.
whatever you want him to say. He'll change your entire life. No, but they just don't need to get married.
Oh, you're saying don't even get married, but be together?
Don't get married, stay with him. Okay, fine, you won't get the tax benefits, but
Yeah,
like,
facts.
and then it's the parents that get to choose. You want curse or you want married? Like,
Good point.
like
I'll
I'll
let you
stay
know.
unmarried or you get cursed. Like,
Fair
you
enough. Fair
decide,
enough.
bro.
I actually think that's a good, like, two options to give her parents, and then her parents can just decide their own fate.
Exactly. Do you wanna ask your next question?
Oh, okay. Do you believe in the concept of like everybody has their own destiny or like fate and all of this?
Mm, like how much of it is in our control versus not?
Exactly.
See, I actually I'm a big believer of like you're in control of your own life, honestly.
Okay.
I don't think anything is like written for you like that.
Mm.
I think like this Tumba Shrimati ke and all I believe. Okay.
See, whatever works in your favor.
Like you can't tell me like which school I'm going to, where I'm gonna go. Like you can't predict like specific
Details.
decisions or like moves that I'm going to make in my life. But I personally do think like what you do in your life you can control, but I also kind of believe in this kundli thing where it's like how lucky you are in life, or like um that kind of stuff could be predetermined, you know what I mean? So somewhat, but not really. What do you think?
Right. For me, I feel like when I was younger, I was like you said, a big believer of like I'm in control of my own life. But
Mm,
as I've grown older, I'm starting to slightly believe that some aspect of it might not be in my hands. For example, when I first moved to the UK and I was still getting used to everything there, I had some issues with my bank account wherein basically had no money for like a whole semester worth of tuition fee and like living costs and everything. And there was no solution for me at that moment. To me, it was almost equal as that money is lost. And I was just like freaking out about what to do. I'm really like trying to pick up the pieces now because imagine I'm in a whole new country where I have zero money and I have a
right.
bunch of commitments. So I'm freaking out. So I had emailed my university that I have certain issues with my bank account. And 6, 7 months later, when I had reached a position where I'd already gathered the money I needed, I get an email from my department going like, our department has decided to just waive off the tuition fee for that entire semester. And they just gave me like a scholarship on the spot, which I could have not foreseen in any way. In that moment, I couldn't see why something like this would happen to me. Like I was just complaining about it, right? And I was crying, I was
Mm,
upset. But when I look back, all of this was like almost like fuck. It was fate that that shit had to happen with my bank account. It was nothing in my control. It was nothing foreseeable. And now when I look back in hindsight, if that had not happened, all these new good things would not have come in my life.
yeah,
So stuff like
true.
that, I'm like, okay, there are certain things where I feel like, okay, sometimes there is just something that was meant to happen for you.
I actually see what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
I do believe also that like sometimes your life, like you can only see that this was meant to be later on, like in the
life
future.
exactly. Yeah.
So I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah. You know what? I had this friend who again is a big believer of astrology, and she in
Mm,
fact started to study it. She'd been like learning it for a couple of years and she knows a lot. She says
right.
that astrology is actually just, I don't remember the ratio, but I think it was either 40% or 60% is true, and the rest of the reading actually depends on your own actions. So the remaining percentage
Mm.
is completely your choice.
I think that's a really good way to look at it, because I think that's just a feeling that maybe everyone can agree on, that like there's a certain part of your life that does feel like you have no control over it and it's just written. But of course, like you can make decisions for yourself.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Should we get into a spookier question?
Go for it.
Okay, so do you believe in the supernatural? Do you believe in ghosts?
100%. I don't play games with those things. I'm out of here, bitch.
In case any of the spirits are listening, yes.
Fush. Listen, I respect all of you and whoever's around me. I hope we're all friends. And I fully believe you guys are here around me.
Yeah, no, honestly, for me also, it's very much a respect thing. Like, I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me. I'm never gonna be that bitch that's like, the one friend of color in the movie that's like, I don't believe the first one to die, bro.
It's never the friend of color, it's actually the white person always.
Oh, that's true, but it's usually just the person of color that dies first. So, should we tell some like stories?
Oh my god, you start, bro. I'm already stressing. I live alone, bro. I'm
I'm
scared.
I'm not gonna tell like actual ghost stories. Okay, so have you heard of um this like white sari lady, this superstition, or like not superstition, but this story
That's
in
just how she
Delhi?
looks in every movie.
No, no, no. This is
That's not
like a
the story.
specific lady. Basically, I think the myth or whatever is that she was like a newlywed who died before she actually got home, or she
Bro, I'm already
died
getting
like
goosebumps.
on
I'm
like
freaking the
trying
fuck
to
out.
get it. Huh?
I'm already getting goosebumps. I'm freaking the fuck out.
Haven't even given specifics, but
I'm already
okay.
stressed. I'm already imagining one white sari lady. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so This is one of the really really famous like ghost stories that I think about a lot, that has just stuck with me. So there's basically like this one area in Delhi, um, and it's like one really long road. And what happens is a lot of drivers, essentially like taxi drivers or truck drivers and stuff, have like corroborated on this story, to basically say that they'll be driving very high speed on this road. They'll see one lady in a white sari standing on the sidewalk, and she will be asking for a lift, and she'll be very like disheveled and stuff. So if you don't offer her a lift, then what she does is she runs next to your car
Oh
at
my
the same
god.
speed backwards. Okay.
I cannot. I cannot listen to the story, bro. I'm already freaking the fuck out. Bro, I live alone. I can't do this.
And she like randomly appear in your rear view mirror and stuff. But if you do stop and you give her a ride, I don't know how true this is either, then she just like disappears midway through the ride.
Does she do this to other women?
I don't know if she only targets men or what.
I'm never going to Delhi again. Again, I've never been anyway, but I'm never going to Delhi. That's crazy. I'm freaking the fuck out. I am literally I have goosebumps.
I didn't even tell it that well, but okay.
No, I'm so stressed. The fact that you said she runs at the same speed backwards. Hell no.
So creepy, right? There's also just this superstition that, like, in case you do see, it's usually a woman in a white outfit for some reason. But if you do hear someone, basically, when you're walking at night, if you hear someone calling out your name, apparently you should not look back.
Stop
Like,
telling me these things. Oh my god, I can't do this.
why are you freaking
Bro,
out?
I live alone. You know how many times I come home at night by myself?
Oh, yeah, she lives in like the middle of nowhere.
You know, that's my
Okay, just
biggest
don't look
fear.
back.
Shut the fuck up. If somebody calls my name in the middle of the night, bro, fuck looking back. I'm running full speed. Straight ahead.
Backwards.
Oh my days.
But apparently that's how you get possessed.
I
So
don't
that,
want to know these things. Oh my. You know, one time I remember when we were like in high school, all the girls, like this IHS groupie, came to stay over at my place. And you remember we used to do this thing where we say scary stories, ghost stories in the middle of the night?
yeah. No, it was so funny. Okay, so we used to do this thing where we would like just stay up at sleepovers, like telling ghost stories to each other. We're so fucked up. And so we like Subs is basically reading out a story from her phone, and it's getting like scarier and scarier. Shweg is sitting like cross-legged like she is now on the bed, and me and Subs are just like laying down. And I don't know how we both synchronized the fuckery, right? So what we do is midway through the ghost story, when it starts getting like really, really creepy, Subs and I just look up at the ceiling at the same time. And Shuek starts freaking the fuck out. She's like, guys, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? I'm serious, you guys. Stop it. What are you looking at?
I think Subs even stopped telling the story. Like you guys just started staring at the ceiling, and I was too scared to look up because I'm like, exactly like she said, what if I look up and I get possessed? Like I ain't doing this shit. Bro, I was
Uh,
flipping the fuck out, bro. Oh my god, this was such a stupid story as well, yeah. I think Pius was even fucking with me. I don't even remember. What happened was we were all at my place, and again, we're doing this fuckery where everyone's like saying scary things. And what we decided was to make the vibe scarier. We've switched off all the lights and we just lit up like three candles or something. And this bitch goes like, you know how you know when there's a ghost in the room is when the candle flame flickers. Bro, the way I've turned on all the lights, those candles are out, yeah?
guys, I'll put her address over here. Just send her
Shut
one
the
quick
fuck
candle.
up. You know what? Oh my god, you know what's another thing that scares the fuck out of me?
What?
Have you seen that Netflix show about that dancing lady? I don't remember what the show's called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, oh my goodness me. Okay, apparently this is based on a true story. There was an actual lady somewhere in Vietnam or something who was doing this. And it wasn't like a ghost, it was an actual person who had some vendetta against men, and
Mm.
she was dressed a certain way, and she would like play some like music and dance to lure men towards her, and when they came closer she would kill them. After I've read about this, I'm like, there's no fucking way you'll catch me alone anywhere in the night, yeah? Because every time I come back home, even that small walk from like the Uber to my actual building, I'm freaking the fuck out that I'm gonna see some dancing lady, bro. The way I run with my eyes closed, yeah, I am playing no games.
But I fuck with it, bro. Like, good for her. Like, women in male dominated
Facts,
fields.
facts, facts, facts.
We used to fuck around so much when we were younger. Like, I remember we used to do the Ouija board so
Yeah,
much. Randomly. Like,
yeah.
we were so into it for like a couple of weeks that
I
I
remember.
remember once, like, we just didn't have a class or we bunked class or something in high school. We went to like some open classroom and we just tried to DIY some Ouija board. Like, why?
Oh my god. I couldn't sleep after I watched Money Mail Boys, bro. Have you seen the movie?
No.
There was one cave which was basically called the Devil's Kitchen. Okay?
Okay.
And this is true. This actually exists. So, basically people were like not allowed to go there because it's a really narrow cave and it's very dangerous. Like if you fall, you're dead.
Hmm.
Basically these guy group, they go there and they hadn't known about this Devil's Kitchen, and one of the guys from the group actually falls through that hole.
Okay.
So that's what this movie is about. Okay, and this is a real life story, and in the end that guy actually gets rescued, so he's still alive to this day. And in the movie there's an actual scene where the guy falls and he's just lying inside that like hole. I saw that scene and I freaked the fuck out. I couldn't sleep that night. I came
This
home.
isn't even about spirits.
You know why? Because the scene was like he was surrounded by like a bunch of trees and like branches, and like there are bats flying out of that hole and stuff. Like it's really like dark and like stressful situation, yeah. And outside my window, there's a big ass tree. And this was in winter, okay? So the tree didn't have leaves, it was just branches. Bro, I saw the branches. I'm like, it looks like the branches in the cave, bro. And I freaked out. I couldn't sleep.
Just say you can't sleep, okay? Don't be making excuses. Anything and everything can't sleep.
I genuinely couldn't look out the window, bro. For like a week, I was stressed to look out the window because I didn't want to see the branches.
Bitch, how much you will talk? You're not giving me a chance only. I'm like opening my mouth to say something. She's like, wait, I have one more story. And then it has nothing to do with the question, nothing to do with the topic.
Bro, because I'm such a pussy, I have so many stories of me being scared.
I know. Shut the fuck up, okay?
Okay, go on.
I'm gonna say something relevant to the last thing. I feel like a lot of these like superstitions and ghost stories and this and that, it like becomes very real because of word of mouth, right? Like you tell, like people tell each other and then it starts to feel more and more real. Like there was this thing in the 90s in Bangalore where I don't know, I don't know if there were like extra ghosts in the 90s or what the
The
scene
90s are the
was.
worst.
Yeah,
All the ghosts
seems like it.
existed then.
Yeah, legit. Where like people would literally write the words on their door. I thought this was so funny. People would write the words "Naleba"
Okay.
on their door, which basically means "come tomorrow." And so apparently that was like the ghost repellent. The ghost be like, "Oh, bad. You're like not free today."
Not gaslighting the ghost into thinking you can come the next day, and that's just happening every day.
Legit. The ghost like, wait.
Oh, you said come tomorrow so nicely. Okay, might as well.
No, but I thought this was like so interesting that like people actually
That's
did
actually
this.
hella funny. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put come tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Ghost stories are good, bro. They get me. I love it.
Do you remember that other one story that we read about when again on one of our sleepovers?
No,
Do you
tell
know which one?
us.
Okay, okay. This was also one that spooked me the fuck out. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps as we speak. This couple goes to a hotel, gets a room for a night, and they,
I think I remember.
yeah. So then the guy at the counter says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Our entire hotel is booked out. We only have one room, but that room has been like having like really creepy stories and like noises and stuff. People don't like to stay there. It's never occupied. If you want, you should stay there at your own risk." And then um he goes like, no, we don't really believe in those kind of things, like it's fine, we'll stay there. And they obviously start having issues throughout the night. Their like showers broken, suddenly the AC runs and then stops, and like just they're hearing noises. They hear a knock at the door. Okay. So the guy goes through the peephole to see like who's there, and he just sees red, like complete red. And he's just like, what the fuck is this? And he just ignores it and he goes to sleep. The next morning, they're checking out and they go up to the receptionist and they're like, we heard like a random knock in the middle of the night. And when we looked out, the entire, like, it was just red. Like, we couldn't see anything. What's up with the peephole? And then the reception tells him, bro, that's the ghost. The lady's eyes are red.
Bro, that's the ghost.
Why the fuck did you laugh? I can't, I'm scared to even say it. I'm, I don't know if you can tell. I'm literally stressed right now.
It's so funny the way you said it. Like, bro, that's the ghost. The lady's eyes are red. You're so bad at this.
Oh my god, bro! I'm literally, feeling cold, bro. I'm stressed out.
You know, if you're feeling cold, it
Shut
means
up!
because
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
light a candle and check.
Ah, stop! Please stop. I can't do this. I don't want to know.
You're too funny, bro. Okay.
Actually, I was really excited for this episode. I don't like it anymore.
Okay, so I read some really funny like Reddit posts when I was just trying to do some research about Indian superstitions and superstitions in general. So this one is so funny. It's like this is about being Manglik. So it's like being Manglik based on date and time of birth. If you're Manglik, then it makes you super unlucky and basically non-compatible for marriage to anybody unless with another Manglik. There are also higher and lower degrees of this Manglik, but surprisingly, it goes away if the groom has a government job.
Has a good job.
It's a government job.
A government job.
I was like, why?
This is what I mean. It's like suddenly all the issues go away when you pay the astrologer.
Okay, the next one is like, which this one I've actually heard of weirdly, but it's too funny. If you drink coffee when you're pregnant, your kid will be dark. If you drink milk, they'll be fair. And someone on in the like replied to that being like, I heard the same thing about eating coconut so that my baby would be fair, but my husband retorted that if this was the case, then South Indians should be the whitest of us all.
Literally. What the fuck?
Fair. Okay, this one I'm sure you've heard of. You know how like people have this superstition again on like Thursdays you shouldn't cut your hair, cut your nails, vegetarian, like
Yeah.
all these things, right? So someone is like, don't cut your hair or nails on Thursday, and then the comment below that has gotten like 4 times as many likes, and it goes, the nail part has a legit reason behind it. Cutting nails on Thursday makes it harder for you to open the beer cans on the weekend.
Ah, good one. But I was gonna say like the cutting nails thing is an actual Indian superstition where you don't cut your nails in the evenings. Okay, I have a small story about this, yeah. I had a
Yeah.
classmate in like seventh grade, okay.
Okay.
We've already spoken about this in our first episode that IHS was crazy. We had to have short nails and stuff like this, which we used to
Yeah.
get checked for every day. This bitch would never cut her nails, okay? And she would come to class and her excuse was like, ma'am, you know how you can't cut nails in the evening, so I couldn't cut it.
Wait, that's too good.
Bro, she used to use that as an excuse. Like, by the
Cheat
time
the
I reach,
system, bro.
yeah, she's like, by the time I reach home from school, it's already afternoon. After I have lunch, it becomes evening, and then I can't cut it. She's genuinely used
Honest.
this as an excuse in class.
That's some good shit,
Yeah,
bro. I'll give
facts.
her
Finesse the
props for
game,
that.
bro.
This one's also kind of funny. So this person's like, I've heard that you should not see photos or videos of snakes, otherwise they will visit you. So I stopped seeing group photos of my friends.
That's
I was like, shit,
hilarious.
bro.
That's some kind of shit that I would do. I can't lie.
Okay, then this one's so random. There's a temple in Hyderabad, Chilkur Balaji Temple. Chilkur Balaji Temple, popularly known as Visa Temple. There's a belief that if you take your passport to the temple and circle around 108 times, you will get any visa approved.
That's crazy, bro. This
The
is like a
person below
testament to how weak the Indian passport is that you made a temple just for visa.
108 times.
Exactly,
Crazy,
that's
bro.
insane.
Yeah, what if it's a big temple? Crazy. And then the person below this goes like, the problem isn't approval. The problem is getting appointment.
It's so real, bro.
Uh,
I
I died.
can't. That's too funny.
Okay, last two, yeah. This one is like, so this is a very popular one as well, which I've heard. Three people should not go to anyone's house. So normally they call a child to tag along. So as a child, relatives visiting us from out of town used to make me go with them just because there were three of them. My mom used to suggest carrying a stone instead of me, and that both will work just the same. How
That's
insulting.
insane. Why did that person's mom do them dirty like that for, bro?
Why is like the child and the stone the same thing, bro?
First of all, what kind of superstition is this? Three people can't go together.
No, it's just like, bad luck comes in threes or
Oh,
whatnot. Even I've
yeah,
heard this. My mommy, she believes in this that like if she's like serving you rice, she won't do it an odd number of times. She like, even if it's just a few more grains, she's like, you have to serve it an even number of
right, right,
times.
right. Bro, I don't remember which country I visited where there are certain numbers that are like heavily, I think it was China, that certain numbers have real bad omen attached to it. So they don't
Mm.
number their floors with those numbers.
Wait, yeah, like that's why number 13 is
Yeah,
missing from a lot of buildings. You're
in
right.
the US. But in like China and stuff, it's not just 13, it's like a bunch of numbers. So it's like 3, 6, 16, 13, 24. All so many numbers are missing, yeah. And I remember
Whoa.
the last time I went to China, I was staying at a hotel where none of these numbers were there, yeah. And I'm like, how does this make any sense? So even if I've skipped 8 and I'm staying on the fucking ninth floor, it's still eighth floor.
Yeah, crazy. Shit, so you could actually be staying on like some 42nd floor, but technically it's like some 22nd floor.
Exactly.
Imagine they hike up the price, like, yeah, with the
Your
view.
high rise view.
Okay, this is the last one, yeah. This was the most random one. If you play
Hmm.
Himesh Reshmiya's Jhalak Dikla Ja, you know the one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then it summons a ghost.
Why does it summon a ghost? No, I can't even play this song, bro. What's happening? And that song's a banger.
Yeah, it's really good. You should have seen his like last live concert. Piyush was showing us the video.
Yeah, he's like
Bro,
Naak se
the
gaun,
way
yeah.
people were jamming, like the
Yeah.
aunties were like,
Yeah, this was a
okay.
fun episode.
Yeah, I was actually.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep for like a month, but it was a good episode.
Okay, should we answer the big question now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so how superstitious are you, Shoik?
After this episode, I clearly think a lot because I believe in every ghost story that I heard. I'm stressed as fuck now.
Yeah, honestly, from this episode, it seems like you are very
Yeah.
superstitious.
I came into it thinking, oh, I'm not superstitious at all. I'm just regular stitious and all. Now I'm leaving the episode. I'm like, brother, I can't, bro. I can't. Give me all of the writing come tomorrow, putting all the garlic, lime, green chili, whichever you want. I'll stop cutting
Throwing
my
the sword
nails.
over your shoulder.
Yeah.
All of it, all of it.
I'll pray every day, Hanuman Chalisa.
That's too
Stressed.
funny.
I'm hella stressed after the shoot.
Nah, but there's too much to talk about with this. We have to do a part two.
100%.
Yeah. I personally think I'm just okay. I'm a bit superstitious, not that much.
I don't know how you're so like, you're good to hear so many ghost stories and you're just chilling.
Because I'm very respectful of the ghosts. Don't get
So
me
am
wrong.
I. That's why I'm scared.
Yeah, that's why I believe that actually, like, they're not trying to fuck with me? I'm like, I'm
Now
on your
I'm
side. I've seen a lot of friends who like if we go to like a haunted location or anything, they'll like start fucking around. They'll be like trying to call the ghost. They'll be like trying to show off their whole like I'm not
oh, I'm
afraid
cocky.
bullshit.
I'm not scared.
No, no, no. I
I'm
am
not even
like
hanging out with people like that.
I am fully like put my head down, walking respectfully, like I'm not about this like fuckery.
Okay, so that is that, guys. Great
Yeah.
episode. Cute.
Join us next week.
Yes, please keep showing support, guys. Please do that like, share, subscribe, all of that shenanigans.
Yes, sir. Okay. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys. Love you. See you later.